So this right here is the very first Pro headset from Oraimo, and after all these years, yes, they've had more than enough time for research and development on a product like this, and they really cooked some interesting features into this Pro headset here. And let's talk about it. First things first, when we take a look at this Pro headset here, we can actually tell Oraimo took a lot of inspirations from here, there, and almost everywhere. So let's start off with the ear caps. So looking at the ear caps, you can clearly see they took inspiration from the Sony Max series, the XM3, XM4, XM5, and even the XM6. But this right here closely resembles the QCY H3 Pro headset that I've been talking about for a very, very, very long time. So I'm going to admit there are a lot of changes that has occurred with this headset here, but a few things that still remain the same. So first off, of course, as in the Boompop lineup, this is made out of full plastic, yes, full plastic, and nothing more than that. We still have our metal band strip here for added durability, and that's about it. These are the only two things that remain the same in the Boompop Pro. Most other things about this headset here are totally different, and let's talk about them. So the first thing which is actually different with this headset here is actually the ear caps, the cushions on the ear caps. So on previous Boompop series, we actually had a PU leather for the ear caps, and yes, PU leather is comfortable and everything, but then what we have on the Boompop Pro here is actually a Fox protein leather. Yes, so Fox protein leather is actually rated to be of much higher quality since it's a bit softer and more breathable as compared to PU leather. Yes, it might be of higher quality, but when it comes to durability and how long it lasts, I don't really know. But as of now, and as of the time I'm making this video, the Boompop Pro still carries the most comfortable headset in the entire Boompop series. So we have more than enough depth in the Boompop Pro, so the ear caps don't really touch your ear. This is your new king when it comes to comfort, and that is the Boompop Pro. Also, we actually have matte texture all around the Boompop Pro, except for this gold bar here. That is the only glossy part of the Boompop Pro, and as usual, it's a fingerprint magnet. So yes, it's compact, it's foldable, and it's also easy to carry around. The next big thing on the Boompop Pro is actually the buttons. So on this headset here, we only have two buttons, and that is a welcome upgrade. So first off, we have the power button and the MFB button, or you can simply call it the mode button. The less buttons we have on the headset, the easier it is for the user or the consumer, and the less learning curve or time it will take for you to just work things around. So first off, the power button does its usual thing, on or off, but the mode button here allows you to switch between active noise cancellation mode, transparency mode, or simply turn ANC off. This is an all-in-one solution for everybody. You can simply just switch between ANC mode, which is going to be your most used feature on this Pro headset here, and they just made it way easier for their users to do that. But it's not perfect. One feature is actually missing here, and that is Sound 360 spatial audio. For some reason, Oraimo did not add Sound 360 spatial audio to the MFB button, and you still need the Oraimo Sound app to turn that feature on or off. I mean, this feature is something they've been really pushing, and I really don't know if they consider it to be a major feature or they still consider it to be a gimmick for themselves. It's a feature on the headset, and if you made it easier for people to simply turn it on or off, that would be a very much welcome upgrade. The next big thing here is the swipe controls on this headset. This by far is the most largest and most welcome upgrade, way better than what we have on the buttons. I think these swipe touch gestures is perfect. So with the touch and swipe controls, mind you, it only works on the right hand side of the headset, and that's it. So first off, to use this, all you simply do is just double tap to pause or play, you swipe up to increase the volume, you swipe down to reduce the volume, and you swipe left or right to move to your previous track or your next track. It's that simple and very, very basic. So this is nothing new to the Boompop series. We had this similar feature on the Oraimo Boompop 2S, and it was called gesture control. But the gesture controls in the Boompop 2S, there was no physical contact between the user or your hands with the product itself, and it felt kind of off to me personally. But with the Boompop Pro, you are actually touching the product, you are interacting with it physically with your fingers, and I just like it. I mean, sure, for some people, it might take some time for you to get used to it, but I just got used to it right away because I wanted something new and they gave me something new. So let's talk about durability. Remember the metal strip I showed you on the Boompop Pro? Yes, that is supposed to increase durability on this headset, but there's a catch. So this Boompop Pro here houses an 800 milliamp hour battery, which is actually the largest in the Boompop lineup. So the Boompop 2 had a 500 milliamp hour battery, and this is 800. So this is like 300 milliamp hour batteries more than what we had on the previous generation. This is supposed to be a heavier product, by all means, since it has a larger battery, but it's not. So the Boompop Pro is actually very, very light as compared to the other series. To make this headset as light as it is, Oraimo actually had to shave off more plastic, and this means the Boompop Pro is actually the most flimsiest headset I've used. Yes, durability on this headset is not that good, and I really don't see myself using this headset for a very long time. It's very flimsy, and I feel like I can just break it by just stretching it a little bit. Previous users of the Boompop 2, like myself and other YouTubers and other tech friends of mine, were complaining that the Boompop 2 had durability issues. And I think the Boompop Pro is slightly worse when it comes to durability. It's very flimsy because they wanted to make it lighter. So keep your headset safe and handle it with care. So with an 800 milliamp hour battery, battery life should be very good, right? And yes, it is. So Oraimo is actually boasting 82 hours of playback time with ANC turned off and 53 hours with ANC turned on. I actually got less battery life, as compared to the 53 hours that was quoted by Oraimo. I actually got about 40 something hours with ANC turned on. ANC does drain up a lot of battery on the Boompop Pro, and a friend of mine, Bracket Reviews, actually has the exact numbers for the battery life on the Boompop Pro. I'll link a video to his review down in the description so you check it out for the exact numbers, okay? And this right here has the best battery life in the entire Boompop series. Speaking of ANC, yes, the Boompop Pro does come with ANC, but for some reason, Oraimo didn't tell us the decibel count on this headset right here. So first of all, Oraimo really likes to boast about features to their customers, and I was very, very much surprised they didn't tell us the decibel count on the Boompop Pro. That's very sketchy. So first off, from my personal usage, I'd say the Boompop Pro has about 35 decibels of active noise cancellation, and that's about it. So ANC is very good on this headset considering the price. It does reduce a lot of background noise, but still there are some hikes and there are some times where you are actually going to hear some of your surroundings. But when it comes to low end noise around your environment, very good. As I said, I suspect it's about 35 decibels of active noise cancellation, and that's about it. Yes, we get transparency mode, we get sound 360 spatial audio. These are all very much expected features for a pro headset, and we have it here. We have everything on the Boompop Pro. So let's talk about sound. What's a headset without the sound or the sound quality? So we have 40mm drivers in the Boompop Pro, which is about the same on every other headset in the Boompop lineup. But then Oraimo is saying they have actually improved the bass on the Boompop Pro here. And I don't think they improved the bass. I just think they tuned it to a high volume or just tuned it up a bit, and that's all they did. And that in some cases is good, but in other cases it's a bit tricky. So for my first time using this headset, I really saw it to be a bit too loud, especially for the bass. And by default, it's actually on heavy bass mode when you check the EQ using the Oraimo sounder, by the way. So it's always on, and I think the bass is a bit too much. They really didn't improve it. I think they just tuned it up a bit, and that's what they gave us. Nevertheless, sound from the Oraimo Boompop Pro is very, very impressive for me. The bass is really up there, the mids are there, the lows, not that great, but this is the best headset I've gotten. And moving on to extras, we actually have Bluetooth version 5.4. We have dual device connection, which is expected at this point, but we don't have LDAR coding, we don't have high-res audio, which are supposed to be pro level features on a pro headset. Let's talk about conclusion. So should you get the Oraimo Boompop Pro for yourself? Well, this right here is the champagne gold. It comes in two colorways. We have the champagne gold and we have the graphite gray. I only got the champagne gold because the graphite gray which is more like black, was out of stock. But the champagne gold does look a bit subtle and not too pronounced as well. But as you all know, my favorite color is black, so I prefer the graphite gray. By the way, we don't have a lot of color options when it comes to the Boompop series, and at least we do have two options for the Pro, and I think that's good. It's not perfect, okay? We have issues with durability, as I said. If I just stretch it a bit, this thing is definitely going to break. But we have exceptional battery life, the best battery life in the entire Boompop series. We have improved sound. I'd say like 15% improved when it comes to sound on the Boompop Pro. Better battery life, better sound. We have ANC. So this is the very first headset from Oraimo to come with ANC. We have Sound 360 spatial audio and everything. A refreshed and new design. The touch and swipe controls on the Boompop Pro work exceptionally well, and we have fewer buttons as well. So it has a lot of good things, but that single thing that makes it very difficult to recommend is actually the durability. So if you can get past the durability on the Oraimo Boompop Pro, then fine, you can get it. If you're coming from the Oraimo Boompop 2, I really don't see any reason why you should upgrade. Probably you want to have ANC. ANC does work here. So if ANC is something that you really want, yes, you might have to consider it. But I'm going to let you know durability is not 100% yet. It actually took a dip as compared to the previous series. So that's it. This is my review for the Oraimo Boompop Pro. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and leave your thoughts. I know most of you have already gotten it just because it has ANC, and tell me your experience so far down in the comment section. Don't forget to use the coupon code TonyElvis for a discount when you are making a purchase on Oraimo's official website for any of their products. Just type in TonyElvis and you're good to go. And I think I'll see you guys another time.